say, that a big contributor to some of these people making the switch over to high limit is the schedule. Like the schedule's a little less. It's going to be a little easier. Take some time off, man. And I was like, okay, I could see that. And it does sound, because that's that freedom factor that you've been hearing them say, oh, we're only racing 60 times and have some time off to spend with the family. We've heard these things said, randomized, freedom factor deals. And so I was sitting here thinking about the schedule that I just went over the other day, Outlaw and High Limit. I'm like, hold on. Let's go see when they're actually, where is this freedom of a schedule? Let's see what the freedom of a schedule is. And I went to looking into it about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, and doing all this research today. And look, guys, I mean, this is the High Limit Sprint Car Series schedule right here. And this is that Freedom Factory schedule, racing less, more money, right here. And I got to say, guys, so obviously 2 weekends or 4 dates, 2 events in February. And then March is off. Obviously, we think these teams will go race somewhere in March, but March is off. Typical kind of all-star idea. March off, come back in April. But once April starts, guys, I don't want to say y'all saying that it's a easier schedule as April Fools. But I have to say, it's pretty damn close. Because I'm looking at 9, 12, 13. 14, 16, 19, 20. And it looks like 1 week off, but then May looks like every single weekend in May, including 1, 2, 3 midweek dates. 4 if you're including Thursday in New York. We get to June, and you have 3 midweek dates. Yes, there's time off in here, but that is for Houston's High Bank Nationals, which maybe for media people, they're going to take off. But if you're in the swing of things, is that really a break? The teams, we know you're going to go to High Limit or to the Houston's race, aren't you, for $250K? So that week's off. Does that really count as an off week? It does for High Limit. But just look, that's kind of like I say, kind of 1 week off, because they come back and race the following Wednesday after High Banks. And then it seems like everyone in the world is off in July 4th weekend, but at the same time, that's PA Speed Weeks also. And then we get going for all the stuff in July with Kings Royal into August. You got look, 1 weekend, a midweek date, 2 midweek dates, obviously leading up to the Kings Royal. Then you got a Tuesday race at Lernerville, and then you take a week or 2 week issues off for Knoxville. Okay, so we're pretty much so far, we're racing every damn week. And in the middle of the week, with time off for big World of Outlaw events and PA Speed Week. Or home with the family, like World Racing Group and everyone's saying, home with the family, July 4th week, or July 4th week, even though there's races to go and attend. So then after Knoxville, you're going all the way to California, and you're racing 10 days. How many days is this? So you're racing from August 15th to August 31st. So let's see, 1, 2, 3. So that's 16 physical days from the 15th to the 31st. And you're racing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 times in a 16-day span. And then you're flying, hopefully for media members, or you're driving for racing teams all the way to Port Royal for 1 weekend, 2 weekend, 3 weekends, 4 weekends, or well, I guess you could call it 4 weekends with the mid dates, but also you want to keep they're staying off right here of the Williams Grove National Open. You're racing every week, and then once again another weekend of Texas Motor Speedway, October 11th and 12th. So the notion, and this is all I'm saying, and I didn't even think about looking at this until I saw people saying, and even someone said to me here at the house, Oh, it's probably because the high limit schedule is just more chillax. You know, they're only racing 60. They're not racing 86 or 80, whatever it is the Outlaws are doing. It's not that grueling schedule. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are racing, this is not Lucas Oil World Outlaw late model scenario where there's 2 and 3 week emptinesses for fun or span. Now it's somewhat because they're off for the World Outlaw big events. Obviously, the Outlaws ain't taking off for their big events, but you can't race the other way. I do think that high limit would rather work with the World Outlaws any day of the week than the World Outlaws even want high limit to exist. I don't think they want the high limit series to exist. But the notion that there's all this freedom and not as grueling of a schedule, I guess if you're considering a month of March as the difference, although March across the country really ain't beautiful weather, maybe stay in Florida and have a good old time. But as far as this notion of time with family and this, that, and the other with this high limit schedule, I'm just not seeing this big gap of time off. Especially when you're throwing in these midweek races that do have to be ran if you're going for a championship. And you're considering these off weekends are where there's established marquee events like the Kings Royal and the Knoxville Nationals and the now Huset's High Banks Nationals. So I'm just not seeing this chillax, easy schedule that everyone's talking about. You may say there's a little bit of a decent gap between July 23rd and August 15th. And there is, but once again, that's Knoxville, Nationals, 360s and 410s. And then when you get back from having your time off, if you don't choose to go to the biggest sprint car race in the world, you're now going to go on a 16-day, 11-event run from middle California all the way up to almost fucking Canada. And then you're going to drive your ass across the country to Pennsylvania. And then work every single weekend, 2 midweek shows, 3 midweek shows, and another week in Texas to end the year within a month and a week's time, within a 5-week period. So I don't think that this is basically a decision based on chillax scheduling. I don't think anybody picking high limit based on researching and looking at this is picking it based on a chillax schedule, especially any race teams. Because it's kind of a little bit more when you add in those dates that are World of Outlaw marquee events that there's gaps in this for. I would say that both series, if you were to count those marquee events, both series are around the 70 or 80-ish mark anyway. So I'm just not seeing this chillax schedule. This decision that is being made, I think in Chase Rodman's department, is opportunity. I think that's why he's making it. Opportunity to do more. Not putting a cap on his ability in the racing world, and high limits giving some opportunities. Now, the other guys who are going over from the World of Outlaws, like I said, Walkopedia would do that job for an autograph on a t-shirt from Kyle. I mean, the guy just falls over onto his junk three times a day, 365 days in a week. I mean, he dreams of this stuff. So, I mean, that's given. I mean, the timing and scoring okay. Mike Hess, I get that. I get that a lot. They needed some structure, flows, throwing money where it's needed. But I think most of the time it's just decisions or opportunities. And I think that's the bigger one here with Chase Ross. This is how we ride. This is how we do